From Southern Maryland's weather leader, this is a JB Weather Alert.
Hello and good evening. I'm Forecaster John Bordash with you in the JB Weather Center this evening, sitting just about 4:45. Here to give you the latest update on the weather situation we have kind of developing and unfolding across the region this evening, as we have what is turning out to be a very active severe weather day. And if you can hear me, let me know in the comments so I know I'm not just speaking into oblivion. But assuming that you can hear me, I'm starting you off first with a live look at William Richmond Inc. True View radar, and what we're able to see right now is that we have a multitude of storms beginning to cross the Blue Ridge Mountains, beginning to move into a very warm and unstable environment. Earlier this afternoon, the National Weather Service did go ahead and issue a severe thunderstorm watch for the entire region until 10 o'clock, and then just about an hour ago or so, upgraded areas along the I-95 corridor from Fredericksburg up to Washington, Baltimore, Philadelphia, and points east to include all of southern Maryland into the Delmarva in South Jersey. All of these areas now shaded in red have been upgraded to a tornado watch in effect until 10. The only difference between the two, and largely they kind of are the same, the only difference between the two is that in the tornado watch area, we are looking at potentially slightly higher probabilities of seeing the potential for a isolated or spin up tornado or two as we head into the evening. So we don't have an active tornado warning, at least in our area right now. We do have a tornado warning well to the west in portions of Virginia that we will get to in just a moment. But this tornado watch up until 10 o'clock is going to be something that we are going to continue to monitor. And remember, that difference between a watch and a warning, right? When we say a tornado watch, we are talking about the ingredients for a taco, right? If we were to use a taco in place of a tornado. The ingredients for a taco just being on the table, we don't have any active tacos just yet. When we see those ingredients come together, we can then be seeing those tornado warnings get issued, or a taco warning. But let me get you back on over to live William Richmond Inc. True View radar. We do have several warnings beginning to come into the weather center. The first is going to be a tornado warning we have in effect just to the south of Front Royal. This has been a cell that we have been tracking, honestly, for about the last hour or so. Again, it's this pink polygon region. In effect until 5 o'clock. This is going to be, let me get the latest warning text, actually, we just got in on it. This is going to be a tornado warning that remains in effect until 5 o'clock for northeastern Rappahannock and west central Fauquier counties. At 4:45, so just about 3 minutes ago, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Hume, or 10 miles southeast of Front Royal, and moving northeast at about 40 miles per hour. The main hazards here, of course, are going to be the potential for that quick spin-up tornado along with quarter-size hail. Right now, we are just looking at radar-indicated rotation. This still is a very dangerous situation, but we do not have any confirmation of a tornado on the ground. And again, this is in portions of northern Virginia. For those in the direct path of this potential tornado touchdown, and I will actually get radar off of here so I can show you the pink polygon area that we are going to be watching. And this is northwest of Warrenton, Virginia. For those in the direct path of this potential tornado touchdown, flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. Damage to roofs, siding, or windows may occur, and mobile homes could very well be damaged or destroyed in a situation like this. This tornadic thunderstorm will remain over mainly rural areas of northeastern Rappahannock and west central Fauquier counties, including Huntley, Hackleys, Crossroads, Flint Hill, Crescent Hill, Chester Gap, and Orlean. So again, that is well to the northwest of our immediate region here in southern Maryland, but this is going to be a storm that we are going to continue to watch here as we head throughout the afternoon and evening as all of this begins to move to the south and to the east. I want to see if I can get you... See, are you going to work? You will work. This is our William Richmond Inc. dual pane radar, and what this allows us to do is really take a look at radar on the left-hand side as well as wind direction on the right-hand side. Radar can do a lot, and it can show us where it's raining and how heavy it's raining. It can also show us where we have potential rotation by looking at the winds, how fast are the winds moving, and in what direction. When we look at a product like this, and when we're looking for potential rotation, you're really going to want to be looking on that right-hand portion of your screen where you see the wind direction. You're really going to be looking for areas of red and green to kind of be butting up against each other. Areas in red, those are winds moving away from the radar. Green, winds towards the radar. And the brighter versions of both of those colors allow us to know that we have higher winds, right? Faster winds in that region. You can see we're just north of Flint Hill. We have that red and green definitely starting to butt up a little bit. And we've been tracking that. If I put this into motion, you can see as this storm has moved across the Blue Ridge Mountains, let me pause it right here, you can begin to see near Front Royal where we saw that rotation begin to kind of come together. Then we see that that tornado warning gets issued as this storm now begins to approach Flint Hill. I'm also watching storms northwest of Washington, D.C. While I'm not seeing a whole bunch of rotation, if anything, maybe a little bit of rotation near the Mount Airy area just south of there, just southwest of Sykesville here, we could see maybe a slight little bit of rotation. Nothing too concerning at the moment, but we can see that we have very bright green colors moving through Frederick County, moving through Loudoun County in Virginia. These denote for us where we just have high winds. Not seeing any rotation at the moment with these as these storms move through Thurmont down towards Brunswick and Percival, but these are storms that have winds that seem to be, with the latest National Weather Service information, we have winds here gusting upwards of 60 miles per hour with the potential for quarter size hail. Zooming out, we do also have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for southern Calvert County and parts of St. Mary's County. And actually, let me get you to a better version of William Richmond Ink Radar here that's at least a little prettier. And you can kind of see it. Let's get this puppy going down here, down towards southern... let's see. There we go. Down towards southern Calvert County and parts of St. Mary's County. This is a severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect until 5:15. Let me get you the latest information here from the National Weather Service and maybe even get you a little radar data to help kind of put things into perspective here. Let's allow radar to update. The National Weather Service has issued this severe thunderstorm warning in effect for central St. Mary's County and southeastern Calvert County until 5:15. It is those areas that are shaded in the yellow. At 4:46, a severe thunderstorm was located over St. Leonard or over Flag Harbor and moving to the east at about 20 miles per hour. Main threats here look to be the 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts that our radar indicated. Damaging winds with this storm will cause some trees and large branches to fall, and this could injure those outdoors, as well as damage homes and vehicles. Roadways may become blocked by downed trees, and localized power outages are possible, and unsecured light objects could become projectiles with this type of a sudden strengthening of a storm. Locations impacted include, but are definitely not limited to, the Chesapeake Ranch Estates, Greenwell State Park, St. Leonard, St. Leonard Creek, Cuckold Creek, Town Creek, Calvert Cliffs, Flag Harbor, California, Lesby, St. Leonard, Hollywood, Drum Point, Long Beach, Calvert Beach, Port Republic, Dowell, Hillville, and Sodderly. Again, this is a severe thunderstorm warning. The National Weather Service is not too concerned about the potential of a tornado here, which is good. Let me get you back on over to our dual pane radar. There we go. Getting you back on over. Let's see if we can't just get a look at some of the wind data we have coming in. And I'm not really seeing tight rotation here. I mean, we do see near Brooms Island over the Patuxent River where we have maybe getting some green and red potentially trying to butt up against each other, but nothing that is telling me, oh, this is something we need to be watching for potential tornadic development. Something we'll watch, but definitely seeing that potential for damaging winds with this storm as it begins to cross the Patuxent River here and as it heads on into southern Calvert County. So areas on over towards Lesby, the Chesapeake Ranch Estates, Solomon's Cove Point, Drum Point, kind of this area. This is where I grew up, so this is an area I feel like I know pretty well. These are all going to be regions that want to be taking just severe weather precautions. Want to move inside, right? We don't need to be outdoors when we have a pretty nasty thunderstorm moving into the region. Big picture, again, we have several watches in effect. We also have several warnings in effect. And for those of you just now joining, good evening. I am Forecaster John Bordash with you in the JB Weather Center this evening. Earlier this afternoon, we saw a severe thunderstorm watch get issued for the entire region east of the Appalachian Mountains till 10 o'clock as a cold front begins to move into our region from the west. And then about an hour ago or so, we saw Areas along and to the east of I-95 get upgraded to a tornado watch. So this includes Calvert, Charles, St. Mary's, Anne Arundel, Prince George's counties locally, but also Fredericksburg, Washington, D.C., the Baltimore metro area on over towards Montgomery and Carroll counties up towards the state line, as well as the Philadelphia metro area and portions of South Jersey and the Delmarva. So those interests on over towards Atlantic City, Cape May, Dover, Salisbury, Ocean City, Maryland, are all now under a tornado watch, and that is going to be going into effect until 10 o'clock this evening, which is definitely going to be something we're going to monitor with this situation. Thunderstorms were tracking eastward across southeastern Pennsylvania and northern Virginia, and they will be moving into this area here shaded in red, and they've already begun to do so, as we see in parts of southern Calvert County and St. Mary's County. Damaging winds remain the primary threat with any storm that is moving into the region. However, we could definitely see some supercell thunderstorms begin to develop. Those are very mature thunderstorms that do rotate, and that could, and if we see any of those develop, we could see a tornado or two across this red area. So it's not like everybody in the red shaded area will be seeing a tornado today. I think across, I mean, how many hundreds of miles is this, right? This area here shaded in red from Philadelphia down to Fredericksburg, down to Leonardtown, somewhere in there, probably a tornado or two. Could that be in southern Maryland? It could be, but there's no certainty that it will be. And in this red area, we have no active tornado warnings right now. Where we do have an active tornado warning, getting you back on over to live William Richmond Inc. radar as we approach the 5 o'clock hour. We do currently have that tornado warning still in effect here for portions of Fauquier County and Rappahannock County in northern Virginia. This is a tornado warning that is in effect until 5 o'clock, so for about the next 4 minutes or so. And this has been an area that we have been tracking this afternoon with rotation. I mean, when we zoom in here, when we get these reds and we get these greens kind of trying to match up together, that would be indicative of rotation, winds going away from the radar in red and wind going towards the radar there in green. And we see that while not an overly tight circulation, we do see that we have a little bit of opposing force here as we get into the Fauquier County area. So any interest towards Warrenton, southern Fauquier County, maybe even Culpeper County here is definitely going to be an area that we need to be watching. I want to see if we can't just get our gust potential loaded up here. See what kind of winds we are looking at down towards southern Calvert County, parts of St. Mary's County with this storm moving in, and radar is definitely showing those winds getting up towards 60 to 65 miles per hour, pushing out of Hollywood, out of Sotterley, across the Patuxent River, getting into Lusby, the Chesapeake Ranch Estates, Solomons. Oh, we zoomed in way too much there. White Sands, Brooms Island, Cove Point, Drum Point, right? This is all going to be this region. This warning extends all the way up towards St. Leonard, Port Republic, staying south of Prince Frederick for the time being, but this is definitely going to be a storm that is one of many as we head into the afternoon and evening hours. And just zooming out to show you everything that we are looking at this afternoon, evening. Actually, see if I can't just turn off some of these warnings right now. Again, that area there shaded in red, those are the areas under that tornado watch. Area shaded in blue, the severe thunderstorm watch. Remember, a watch, and I believe I have a graphic there. There we go. When we talk about watches, that just means ingredients on the table. When we have warnings, that means that we are looking at active severe weather. Areas in pink I just put on, there's only one that appeared on to the south of Front Royal for the next minute or so. That's the only active tornado warning. However, we have a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings, and you can really see where we are tracking some of the worst weather moving through Frederick, moving into portions of northern Maryland, extending southward down through Front Royal, down towards Charlottesville. And when I put the lightning on, we have a lot of lightning across the region that we are going to continue to watch as all of this here pushes to the east. We can see we are looking at up over 3,700 strikes of lightning this afternoon with these storms. So no active tornado warnings here in southern Maryland, but there's plenty to watch. I'm going to be here in the JB Weather Center throughout the evening, continuing to track the latest information. Again, severe thunderstorm watch and tornado watch in effect until 10 o'clock across the region. And if we have any new warnings that come into the Weather Center, I'll be back here with you live to keep you one step ahead of those storms. In the meantime, I'm Forecaster John Bordash. Thank you for joining me right now, and I continue to keep you one step ahead of the storm.
Check the forecast anytime online at JB